Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Man here. Hope you're doing well. So I saw the new Sydney Sweeney movie this weekend, the new horror film, Immaculate. This was directed by the same director that did The Voyagers back in 2021. That also starred Sydney Sweeney. I saw that movie back in 2021 on Amazon. Pretty good movie. That was more of a sexual thriller than this movie. This is a horror film. But she obviously likes working with the same director. I was curious about this movie. It definitely had like a Rosemary's Baby vibe to it, which is interesting. And I'm also starting to I've never watched Euphoria except maybe one or two episodes. So when it comes to Sydney Sweeney, it's more in the actual movies she's been in. And recently she's been, popping them out like, and that's not a reference to the movie because she's pregnant, popping them out. Hey. But that is like Anyone But You in December, which that's the first romantic comedy in about over 15 years that is well received and made over $200 million out of like a $20 million budget. Wow. Which she also produced the movie. Yeah, she had Madam Web. She was a part of an ensemble. And she's come out on record and said, yeah, I only did Madam Web so that way Sony would let me finance or let me produce Anyone But You. And look at the outcome. Anyone But You, $200 million. I win. And now this movie she also produced with Neon Productions. So, for someone who's only 26 years old, wow, he's on a roll. Positive. Sydney Sweeney. She is very good and excellent in this movie. And like I said, I only watched a couple episodes of Euphoria, and watching her in this movie, I go, yeah, you're gonna be a major star very soon. Her acting in this movie is not only 100% believable, but there were moments that I completely forgot. This was literally the same actress that was just in Anyone But You and Madam Web. She is emotional at times. She's very serious, stern. And bring a little bit of that charm in the beginning. This new nun that comes into this nunnery, and you just believe her. And then, especially when we get near the third act, when a lot of crazy stuff starts happening, she really goes for it, especially in those last 5 minutes, that you just go, whoa, you're gonna be a major star. If you can you were able to do a romantic comedy and pull that off. Now you're doing a horror film, very intense, very, very much on your shoulders. You're the star of the movie, and you pull this off. Yeah, so Sydney Sweeney, she's going places. Even when the trailer came out back in January, I thought the cinematography looked really good. A lot of beautiful looking shots. There's one with her like with a crown on her head and a veil, and she's in the foreground with the back of the church in the back, and it is a beautiful shot. And there's other shots throughout the movie that really look good. Some of them look beautiful but haunting at the same time. The score is very powerful, eerie at times. They even have the Ave Maria song playing near the end of the movie, which when you get music that's supposed to be cheerful and welcoming, and you put it into a horror film like Ave Maria, it brings a certain context, a very different feel of that song Just like when they put Ave Marie in the Batman with Robert Pattinson. It just brings a very different feel to the movie. The pacing, for a movie that's only an hour and 29 minutes, it never felt too short. And that's a good thing. Like, I didn't feel like it felt too long, but it never felt like, oh my god, the movie's already over. You know, a movie that's only an hour and 29 with credits. That means it's even shorter without credits. I never felt like, oh, this movie I feel like I just sat down and got invested in the movie, and now I'm leaving. No. And then the ending. I won't spoil the ending, but I was like, whoa. They went there. They actually went there. A lot of people it's gonna be controversial. And I don't know, and like Sydney Sweeney produced this movie. And I don't know if she had some sort of hand in the actual story itself. But I know, I'm not 100% sure of what political side Sydney Sweeney is on, but I didn't realize until after I saw this movie and what happens at the end of this movie, that I'm like, oh! I'm like, was that... I don't know if it had to do with the whole abortion stance on, and I'm not going to get into that, because that's not my thing, but there was a part of me that I was like, abortion side of things. I'm watching the end of this and I go, was that a statement on people who get an abortion? If that is a statement, oh boy. Some of my negatives. This movie does bring up a lot of interesting concepts and ideas, very weighty topics that you would sit down with somebody and go, interesting. What do you feel about that? What do I feel about that? But they bring up these ideas, but there's also, they don't delve completely in with them. And I thought that was a missed opportunity with certain ideas. Like, you could have gone further with that. And that could have really opened the floodgates for discussions. It much reminded me of a lot of the Roman Polanski movie, Rosemary's Baby. So, if you're a fan of that movie, you might be like, oh, this is not a ripoff, but it definitely has a lot of similarities. So I would still give this a solid 4.4 out of 5. I thought it was a very good Sydney Sweeney performance. Cinematography, great score. And like I said, the pacing, well done. And then that ending is something people could debate about. Very controversial to probably one side of people and another side of people. And like I said, I don't know if that had to do with the abortion stance, and she was trying to put a mark on that. In the comments below, did you see Immaculate? It's in theaters right now, starring Sydney Sweeney. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Matt the Mac.